Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is the 97th lesson of the JavaScript algorithms and data structures course on freecodecamp.org. In case you're new here and you'd like to follow along with me, kindly head over to freecodecamp.org. It's linked in our description and you can start the JavaScript course there. It's absolutely free. And yeah, so let's head right into the lesson. The title of this lesson is Iterate with JavaScript for loop. So in the previous lesson, we learned how to, iterate with the while loops, and then this is iteration with for loops. It's almost similar, but there's a difference, of course. So you can run the same code multiple times by using a loop. The most common type of the JavaScript loop is called a for loop because it runs for a specific number of times. For loops are declared with three optional expressions separated by a semicolon for A, semicolon B, and then C. A is the initialization statement, B is the condition statement, and C is the final expression. I also like to call it the increment or decrement. Okay, it doesn't have to be increment or decrement actually, but the most common is okay. Let's just go on so that you see what I'm saying. The initialization statement is executed one time only before the loop starts. It is typically used to define and set up a loop variable. The condition statement is evaluated at the beginning of every loop iteration and will continue as long as it evaluates to true. When the condition is false at the start of the iteration, the loop will stop executing. This means if the condition starts as false, your loop will never ever execute. The final expression is executed at the end of each loop iteration prior to the next uh, condition check and is usually used to increment or decrement the loop counter. In the following example, we initialize with I equals to 0. So this is the initialization uh, part of the statement, and this is the condition statement, and then this is the final expression, which I was trying to explain is coding with an increment and the decrement expression. But it could be other things too. Alright. Um, so yeah, this is what a typical for loop looks like. Very useful stuff. So and it's very important because you'll be using it a lot in your programming journey. So I believe this is easy to understand. So we start by initializing our variable I to 0. And then we give it a condition I less than 5. So this for loop is going to run as long as it's going to keep iterating or keep repeating itself as long as I is less than 5. And then after each loop it's going to increment the value of I, right? So it's quite similar to the while loop, just that the while loop only accommodates a condition here, and then every other thing is done outside or inside the the curly braces. Like if you remember clearly, we usually initialize our variable outside the for loop, and then we increment it or decrement inside. Okay, so our array will now have the value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would like to explain this a little bit, and I believe it's easy to understand. So let's just look at this one step at a time, or procedurally. Okay. So the first thing that's going to happen here, of course, is going to initialize this and set this up. So it's going to check out this variable or check out this condition. If this condition is true, it goes ahead to run the code in between its curly braces. So At the first point, I is 0, so this condition is true. Yeah, I is 0, less than 5 because 0 is less than 5. So it goes ahead to you know push I into our array, which happens to be an array. So the first element that's going to be pushed in here will be 0. So after it does this, it goes ahead and increments I. Once it increments I becomes 2, right? No, I becomes 1 because I was initialized to 0. Now it's 1. Then it checks again. 1 is also less than 5, so it runs this again, pushing 1 into here. So now you have 0 and 1. It does the same thing for 2, for 3, for 4, and yeah, for 4. So once it gets to 4, it increments again, it becomes 5. So it goes ahead to check, okay, 5 is not less than 5, so our loop ends here, or our for loop ends here. So at the end of this beautiful journey, beautiful looping journey, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 inside of our array. This is very important in looping through arrays. I believe we're going to look at that in upcoming lessons. This is so important if you want to add to an array, or if you want to work with an array. All right, it's very important. So let's head into the challenge. It says that we should use a for loop to push the values 1 through 5 onto my array. So that's quite simple. For let's I equals 1, because we're starting from 1. I is less than. So there are two ways of setting up a condition right now. If you say I less than 6, it's gonna work because once it gets to 5, it stops. It's not gonna run our the, the, the code between the curly braces of the first statement. So we could either have I less than 6 or I less than or equal to 5. Then it's gonna work fine. I think I'll explain that in a second. So we have my array of push, and so as usual I'm going to console log my array, so I'll show you what it contains, and we want to 3.5 perfect. And that is what we're asked to do. But I just want to show you that using less than or equal to 5 is also going to work. Let's have less than equals 5 also works, because once it gets to 5, all right, it's okay, let's say we're at 4 right now, okay, so it's at 4. After incrementing it's 4, then it checks if 4 is less than or equal to 5. It says, so it goes ahead to push 4 into here, and after that it increments again, making it 5. So it checks the condition where 5 is still less than or equal to 5, so it goes ahead and pushes 5 into the my array variable or constant, and then it goes ahead and actually increments again, because if you remember, we were told that the final expression usually run just at the end, right? Final expression is executed at the end of each loop, so it runs again, or rather it is executed, and then it becomes 6, but then it goes ahead to check the condition. The condition is evaluated at the beginning. So once this is evaluated at the ending, it goes, it tries to start over again. It checks the condition first of all, no entry because 6 is neither less than or equal to 5. And that comes, that ends our for loop. And then the next line of code is executed, which is this. So I'm sure this is quite easy to understand. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, feel free to drop them in the comment section and I will reply as soon as possible. Um, let's run the test here. to make sure that we're good, yes, we are good. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next lesson. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to your friends. Bye.